Hi everyone, I am super excited to introduce a little bit of my skincare routine and to be able to show you some of the products that I use when it comes to gua sha. So, I actually just had coffee with one of my girlfriends, and she literally looked at me and said, "Did you get Botox?" And while I'm completely okay with cosmetic procedures of any type, I actually haven't. I've been focusing a lot on face scraping or gua sha to be able to really drain my lymphatic system and promote the health that I have in order to make sure that I have that lovely sculpted face look. Now, as you can see, I've shown you some of my tools of what I use, and I can get a little bit clumsy, so you saw a little bit of my little jump there, but I'm trying to be focused and do this right to make it easy for everyone. So first and foremost, whenever I get started, I have some steam going, and I apply Vaseline as well as a face oil that really works for my skin. First, I will tell you, no, it doesn't break me out. I will say in the past I was super acne prone, but when you do this, ironically, it drains your lymph nodes and all of the gunk out of your face, which actually makes you have less acne. So this is going to work beautifully for you. What you're seeing me do first is rub these 3 centers. You saw my chest, near my nose, as well as at the near temples below my ears. And that was basically to be able to open up the lymph nodes and be able to drain all of the passive fluids that were in my face and in my neck. So you can see now I'm starting at my neck. And I started the neck again because we're opening up those passageways to be able to promote the fluid release down into my lymph nodes and drain it through my heart system, because that's how the lymphatic system works. It goes through the circulation system as a passive. Now you actually see me starting with my chin. I start with the most bottom part, and I let all of the lymph be able to drain through my neck down back to my heart in order to give that nice sculpted look. I'm pinching my chin because it helps me a lot with balance and finding where exactly my muscle is tense. I can be someone that clenches my teeth and my jaw at night. I am a grinder. And this helps me actually release the tension in my face, in that maxilla, in order to not feel sore and also not get those massive maxilla cheek jaw bones, which look great on men, but not so great for my feminine vibes. So I'm actually doing this motion upwards towards my ear and down towards my neck 5 to 10 times on both sides. So I'll get a little bit pink, but I know that's going to go away, and I also know that that red light therapy is really working it through to make sure that the inflammation in my face is reduced. So the scraping, the red light, and the repetitive motions all working together. Alright, now I've moved on to the very bottom of my high cheekbones, and I'm doing the same motion where I kind of flip it as I turn it towards my ear. I'm finding the cheekbone that I want to be sculpted. Just pretend like you're putting on your contour. This is a very popular place for contour. It's exactly that, but instead I'm using it for my gua sha. It's the lip time, and this is my funny face time. You can do this with yoga, like face yoga, and it works very well, but I don't do lip filler. This is what I do. This is my little secret. So this allows me to get that very plump look that's like a pouty almost Victoria's Secret model vibe, and you see me actually shaping the muscles around my lips to give it that perky, very like, almost Bratz doll type of look to it. I'm now moving on to the temple area. This prevents my crow's feet, or what would be crow's feet if I had them. You saw me flip my hand. This tension that I have on my top of my temporal area to forehead is really good because it actually allows the elongation of the muscle and lets me feel where the tension is, where those lines may be wanting to develop. And all I'm doing is making sure that I'm going upward and out as if I'm putting a ponytail on. When you go to actually do the same motion for the eyebrow lift, which is like instant goddess look, I have those two fingers that you saw gently at the point of my mid-brow lifting up. And this allowed me to be able to put the gua sha under, and I kind of just like rubbed it in for a second. I didn't really scrape because my eyes are more sensitive than my chin bone and my jaw, and I didn't want to hurt my eyes, of course. So what you did on one side, you do like the other, just like yoga if you're a yogi. And you're seeing me do the same two fingers at that mid-brow, lifting and just holding for a second. Again, I'm not scraping, I'm just holding it there. And that allows for any hooded eyes or crow's feet to be reduced. And it's like an instant eyebrow lift. Now I'm moving on to the under eyes, which is the most sensitive part. So I'm not pushing like I did at my chin or my jaw. I'm just gently guiding, and again up towards my temporals. So the temples are on the side of your face, and you saw that. I'm going to do the one side where I kind of get those middle lines in my forehead if I don't do this often. So I'm just kind of putting an X outwards on that to make sure that the center of my forehead also comes very smooth, and it gives all of those 11s, all those forehead lines a goodbye kiss. Alright, I'm starting to look really good here, but I've got one more area I want to work out, and that is my nose. And so I'm very blessed with having this cute little perky nose, but it still needs a little bit of love, and that's where my red light comes. I can be someone that gets congested, especially when I'm in cities, with my nose, and this allows for that kind of bunny nose, cute little bunny nose. I'm finishing up now. In order to do this, I make sure that I'm just helping one last time for the lymph nodes that are in my chest and in my neck to be able to be draining all of that fluid. And I'm actually doing this because as I was going through all of the motions, I found that I could feel it draining. All right, a little bit of a close-up, showing my jawline, showing everywhere I go through. I do this 3 times a week.